Hello, thank you for joining me today again on the Church History Trail, and we're going to go for a wee walkabout in the square. And as you can see, the sign there says Court Square, and of course that's the priory in the background along with the flax house. And I just want to show you this here first of all, and this is of VICECOUNT CASTLEREAGH, and it's the bicentenary 1822 till 2022. And so there you are, that's VICECOUNT CASTLEREAGH, as you can see. And so we're going to go for a wee walkabout in the square, and there's some memorials, and as we walk about then I'll just mention some of these memorials to you. And there's also a connection with my best friend Jim Campbell, because one of his relations, his great uncle, is actually mentioned here on the memorial here for the war dead, which is this here. And so we're going to mention Jim's great uncle on this, because he's actually buried in Movilla Cemetery, but he's originally from NEWTOWNARDS, and he died here in NEWTOWNARDS. And so this is the memorial for the war dead, as you can see. And it says, in memory of the men of NEWTOWNARDS and district who laid down their lives serving King and country in the Great War 1914 to 1918, lest we forget. And so there you are. And you can see the poppy wreaths all around, and it's got the names of those who died during the war. And this one says, in memory of the men who laid down their lives serving King and country in the Second World War 1939 to 1945. And again, there's more names here on this side, but it's that name on the right hand side, the top one, if you can see that I want to mention, and that's W.M.R. Strain, and he fought at the Battle of the Somme on the 1st of July 1916, and he was able to come home after the war, but he died here in NEWTOWNARDS because of wounds suffered during the war. And he's from NEWTOWNARDS originally, and he's buried in Movilla Cemetery. And so he's the great uncle of my best friend Jim Campbell. And so that's W.R. Strain, and the connection that my friend has then to NEWTOWNARDS and to this war memorial. But there's all our wee memorials as well, which we're going to look at. And there's quite a number of wee memorials in this park. And also, as you can see there, that building there, that's the Royal British Legion, if you can see that. And first of all then, I wanted to mention this here. This is known as the Burma Roses, and I'll just zoom in and let you see that. It says, donated to Ards Borough Council in memory of all who fell in the Burma campaign 1939 to 1945. And then there's another wee memorial here, and it's to the 36th Ulster Division. And of course you can see there the red hand, which not only goes back to the foundation of the Northern Ireland state, but back to the O'Neills and even further back before that. Some would even say that it goes back to pagan times. Of course, the legend is that one of the O'Neills in finding Ulster, the first man to find Ulster, to put his hand on Ulster, would claim it. And so the legend is he was in the boat and he was losing, and so he cut his hand off and flung it onto the land, and that's the legend. So the Red Hand of Ulster goes back quite a long way, and it's 36th Ulster Division, World War I Centenary Walk Memorial in memory of the 13th Royal Irish Rifles, County Down Battalion and the 108th Brigade of the 36th Ulster Division on their departure from the training area of Clondyboy Estate, Bangor in 1915 to the battlefields of the Somme and northern France. And so that's the memorial to the 36th Ulster Division. There's a wee plaque here as well, which says this plaque was erected by Ards and North Down in 2018 to mark the centenary of the First World War armistice in 1918. So quite a lot of war memorials here in this wee park. And there's the summer seat, as you can see. And again, you get a good view there of the prairie. But this wee monument here is in memory of the Polish. And here's what it says. Now, I'm not going to try and read the top part because I just couldn't. But it says, dedicated to the memory of the Polish airmen who lost their lives in the Battle of Britain and other theatres of the Second World War. And then it says, also in memory of number 315, City of Dublin, number 303, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that one, but it's City of Warsaw, Polish fighter squadrons stationed at RAF, Ballyhalbert, and all the members of the Polish forces buried in Northern Ireland. And so there you are. And that's the wee memorial to the Polish war dead. And there's a couple more that I want to show you, because there were soldiers actually who died here during the war in Newtownards. And the next wee monument that we're going to look at is actually dedicated to them. And it's this one here. And it says, in memory of the 13 soldiers of the 70th Battalion, Royal Enniskillen Fusiliers, killed during the air raid on Newtownards on the night of the 15th of April 1941. And then I'll just read the wee bit at the bottom here. It says, in remembrance of all those service personnel and civilians who lost their lives in the Ards as a result of the Second World War. And so that's that wee memorial to those 13 soldiers and to all those who lost their lives here in Ards or in the Second World War. And then this one here says, if you can read it, it's very faded, this one. It's Belfast Bell, I think that is, named in honour of the International Rose Convention held in Northern Ireland, and that was donated by BP, which is the petrol people. And so there's one more wee memorial that I want to show you, and it's this one here. And this is in memory of and with gratitude to the men and women of the Royal Ulster Constabulary, members of the security forces, the prison service and the emergency services who made the ultimate sacrifice or were injured in the line of duty to protect our community, and whose colleagues continue to serve the people of Northern Ireland with selfless dedication. And so that's that wee memorial then to the Royal Ulster Constabulary. Of course, the Royal Ulster Constabulary is no more. It's now the Police Service of Northern Ireland. And so thank you for joining me today on our wee walk around. There's one more wee monument that we're going to look at, and then that's us finished. And it's this one here, and I'm not sure if I'll be able to read this one out because it's very faded, but I'll try. It says, memory to Lance Corporal, I think that's J. Spadle, and then there's other ones mentioned there. Some of them are very faded, and it's 3rd Battalion Ulster Defence Regiment, and it's killed in the line of duty. I think that's 1990, April 1990. And so that's a wee monument to those killed in the Ulster Defence Regiment. And so thank you for joining me today on the Church History Trail, and I hope you've enjoyed our wee walk around. God bless.